Hey guys, it's Unity3d again and welcome back to my channel. So first of all, thank you again for joining today. I really appreciate your time. And today I'm going to be covering AR Foundation, subsystems, and subsystem descriptors. We're going to be covering why would we use a subsystem descriptor, and the real answer to that is basically to determine if a feature of AR is supported, and this could depend on the operating system that you're running, the device that you have. So what Unity is doing is basically wrapping that functionality into what's called a subsystem. So if your device doesn't support body tracking, if your device doesn't support eye tracking, these systems are going to allow us to detect that before we try to open up that functionality and therefore not provide a good experience to the user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create basically a new scene. We're going to be just playing around with a couple of subsystems and then showing whether my iPhone XS supports it or not. And for the most part, my iPhone is going to support most of the features, but if you run this on an older phone, then you're going to see the power of using these subsystems. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get this one cloned, and then we're going to be using this one as the basis. And then what I'll call this one is going to be called, we can say feature supported. Let's just call it feature supported. And I think that's going to basically be very broad because it's gonna be detecting multiple different features. So let me go ahead and double click that. And then what I'll do here is I'm gonna change a couple of things. We're not gonna have options in here, and we're also not gonna have I don't think I really need a panel like this, but instead of deleting it, what I'll do is I'll just make it bigger, and then we'll use it for determining what's supported and what is not supported. So I'm just going to reuse it, and then we can just tweak it around. So I'm going to resize that, and then we can just grab the title, move it up, and then I'm going to change the anchors. I spent a lot of time playing with UI, so that's why I am going with this and so comfortable with it. Okay, so let me go ahead and call this one feature supported. We can just call it feature support checks. There we go. And then what I'll do here is I'm going to make this one, this is not going to be instructions, it's just going to be, we can add a couple of them. I'm going to say, let's add about 5 different features. So this was going to be feature 1. Or instead of calling it feature 1, let's go ahead and call it features. That way what I'll do is I'll reuse this text, and then we can add a end of line terminator at the end, and then so we're gonna have feature 1, is it supported, yes or no, and then 2, 3, and then so on. That way we can have as many as we want, and then I can delete that. Okay, let me just resize this. I'm going to just say, you know how I like to use brackets. The reason why I use brackets is because it's gonna be replaced by an actual text, so we can just keep it as a placeholder, and then we can just center it. I think that's fine, that's gonna work. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this, and then what I'll do is on the feature supported scene, I'm gonna click on build settings, and then let me go ahead and uncheck the previous scene, and I'm just gonna basically add this one as the open scene. Alright, so we're good to go there, and then let's go ahead and focus on some of the coding. So let me go down to, and I haven't even created a script. All I did was create a scene. So my bad on that, and let's go ahead and create a new script. This one is going to be called feature. I'm going to call it the same as the scene supported. Perfect. And you can see that I did something similar to the eye tracking one, and I'll show you that after I'm done with this one, so you know why I'm using that one. All right, feature supported inherits from mono behavior, and then we don't need the update method. We can just focus on the start and then do all our checks in the start method. So I know that I'm going to need a couple of things in here. I'm going to need the actual reference to the text box. So let's go ahead and add that. It's going to be text. And then this is going to be feature. You can just call it features. And then I'll just, click on my little bulb there, and then bring in the Unity UI. Okay. And it's really hard when you speak Spanish all day and then you speak English when you do videos. For the most part, I speak English for the most part, but a lot of times I go back to Spanish with my wife. So anyways, that's out of the equation here. Let's go back to the topic. So So why would you use subsystems? And I want to show you. That. So let's say that you wanted to use body tracking, and let's say that we also wanted to use, eye tracking and making sure that our device could support those features. So if we wanted to use body tracking, we know that we need to. If you watch my previous video, you know that you need to bring in it's called body, and looks like I don't have it in here. Let me go ahead and bring in the Unity Engine XR AR Foundation namespace. So you're gonna need that. And then this one, it's going to, if I type in AR Manager, AR, and know the whole word, you're gonna see all the managers that are available. And all these managers, and most of them that I know, they all have something called, and I don't know if they inherit directly from Subsystem, but they all actually have a subsystem property that allows you to determine whether a feature is available or not. So for instance, if we wanted to, look at the face manager because we want to, handle eye tracking, we wanted to handle poses on our faces and so on. So let's say that we wanted to do that. Let's say that we wanted to add a AR face manager, for instance, and then I'll just call this one AR face manager, and then I'll add it as a serializable field so we can expose it. We're gonna need to add that component to our game object, but I'll show you how to do that. And then let's say that we also wanted to support not only AR face manager but also human. Let's just bring in the AR. Let's do it one more time. AR body. There we go. AR human body manager. Let's go ahead and give it a variable name. And I like to start with lowercase, so let me go ahead and make this one lowercase on AR. And then everything is just, a word. First letter is capital case, and then lowercase. I like it that way. So then what I want to do is let's see what other managers we have available too, so that we can get more examples. And let's see, trackable manager. Let's say that we wanted to find out if our device supported AR point cloud manager. Let's do that one as well. So this one is gonna be also one that we're gonna be checking, and then I'll make that one also serializable. All right, so let's focus on the AR face manager. Let's find out if it supports, eye tracking, and if it supports our face posing. So let's go ahead and check. So how do we do that? And the way that you do that, it's you access the subsystem. And if you access the subsystem, you're gonna see that we have multiple properties here in the subsystem. And one that I've been using quite a bit is a subsystem descriptor. That one will tell you, it will give you a lot of options as far as like what's supported. So for instance, in the face manager, we can find out if we support eye tracking, we can find out if we support face normals, if we support face mesh UVs, and then supports face pose. So there's multiple ones that we can check. So let's go ahead and check the eye tracking. Let's go ahead and do that. And then what I'll do is I'll add a variable, a boolean, that is going to give us that value. And then for the most part, these ones are all going to be booleans. So if I go back in here, you can see by this changing, then these are all bools. So I'm going to create variables for those. So let's go ahead and do eye tracking on this one. And then on the next one, I'll do the face pose. And then on this last one, I'll do let's go ahead and select the face mesh vertices and indexes. And then I'll copy this property and I'll make that one a variable. And then we can go ahead and add that later to the UI. Okay, so we have 3 different checks here. Then let's go ahead and, so this one is going to be the face manager checks. Face checks. We can just call it face support checks. So now let's do something similar. I'm just going to copy it. I'm being lazy. And then do the same thing with the AR human body manager. Instead, I'm just going to replace this variable. And then I'm just going to access the subsystem, just like what we did. Let me go ahead and just type it out, or at least paste it in. And then you can see that I also have a subsystem, and it also has a subsystem descriptor. And then you can see that this has a lot different options because it's a different subsystem. I was gonna say it has a lot more options, but it doesn't because it's a different system. Okay, so on this one, I'm gonna do support human body 2D. And let's go ahead and grab that one. And let's see if our phone supports human body 3D. Let me go ahead and go back to that. I'm gonna copy that variable. And then lastly, let's just pick one more. Let's see if it supports human depth image, because I have an iPhone XX. It's going to support, I know it's going to support these two because I've been playing with the human segmentation, so I know that's going to work. But that's fine. We'll just select it as well. But then if you try it on your own phone and if it doesn't support it, or if it does support it, great, but if it doesn't, you can see the differences between your phone and my phone. Okay, so this one is going to be for human body support checks. And then lastly, let's do the AR point cloud manager. I haven't looked at the subsystem descriptor for this one, so that's what I wasn't really sure. But let's go ahead and look at it and see what we have. So this one just says support confidence, and then if it supports feature points, and then if it supports unique ID. So let's go ahead and do the confidence, and I'll also do the feature points. And then I'll just go ahead and do bool equal, and then I'll just do bool on this one equal. And then let's just fix our code here, trying to make it as fast as I can, and then I end up making more mistakes. All right, so let's see. So this is going to be point cloud support checks. Awesome. So this is great. This is a great start, but so far this is not going to display anything. So if we wanted to display anything, I'm going to go ahead and grab the label, and then we can use the text that we have, the text box that we have to basically show the different messages. So this is going to be a little bit long, but that's okay. We'll make it pretty. Okay, so on the first one, I'm going to say, okay, does it support eye tracking? So we can just say, I'm just going to copy the variables just like this. This is going to be the name of the variable, and then I'll just put the value next to it. And then let's go ahead and do it. I'm just thinking what's going to be easier. And let's just do column, and then we'll just do our curly brace, and then basically the variable. So this is using a string interpolation. So we're using a string, and then we're injecting a variable. And then I'll just do \n to start on a new line. Perfect. And then what I'll do, I'll just add a plus symbol. I think about, yeah, let's go ahead and add a plus symbol. And then I'll just do the same thing over and over and over until we get all of them. And then I think that's enough. We'll see if we need more. So let me go ahead and copy and paste this one, and then I'll do the same thing with this one. And then also for our support of human body, let's go ahead and do that. Grab the 3D one. Let's grab our depth image. I think we have way too many, but that's okay. And then we'll just do this last one. And let me just paste that. Okay, let me just delete the rest of them that we don't need, and we don't need a new line right there. So what I'm doing is basically going to be displaying the support check that we're doing, and then the result. That way it's going to show us what's supported and what is not supported. Okay, so I think we're good here, and then I don't need these using statements. Just need those three, and I think we're good. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into Unity. And let's go ahead and add some of the managers that we're going to need, and also a reference to our features. So I'm going to go here, and I'm not going to need all of these things, even though they were nice, because I could have used one of these, the AR Plane Manager at least. Okay, so we don't need that, and I think this one is okay. This one is good, and make sure that we don't have scripts there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the AR session origin, and I'm going to add the script that we created to that game object. So I'm just going to say feature supported. You're going to see that nothing is referenced, so we're going to just associate our text box with features. And then I'm going to need to create the face, all these managers. So to do that, I'm going to do AR face manager. Just going to add them to the top. And I believe I can do this. I don't think it's going to complain if I have a null value. I hope it doesn't complain. If it complains, we're going to have to build it again. And let's see, I'm also going to need a human body manager, and let's go ahead and move it up. And then on this one, I'm going to enable let's go ahead and enable a human segmentation. And I don't know if I need to enable. I think this is just going to check if it's supported or not. I don't think this is only if you need to use them, you will need to enable these features. So let's try this and see what happens. And then the last one that I'm going to need is going to be let me just check this. This is interesting. This one doesn't have an icon, but this one does. Anyways, let's go ahead and go back into the AR point cloud manager. I'm going to move this up. And then this one also requires a prefab, but I think we're okay. So what I'm going to do is for all these managers, we're going to just drag them and drop them into the appropriate variable. And then I'm also going to grab the body manager and also the AR, and not that one. We go ahead and grab, oh, looks like I did grab the right one. Okay, so looks like we're good to go. And let me just hit play and see what happens. I don't think this is going to run because this needs to run on the device. And let's see what happens here. Object, no. And I think this is okay because we really don't have this AR manager right now this only runs in iOS. And I think we're okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and run this on the device. So let me go ahead and hit build. And then I'm going to build it to iOS. So I'm just going to make sure that I have iOS selected. Everything looks good. Hit build. And then this is going to be feature supported. That's the name of the build. And then I'm just going to hit save. And this is going to take few seconds to build. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it run. And then I'll be back as soon as this is completed. Alright guys, so this finished building. So let's go ahead and look at it. So you can see that my iPhone supports eye tracking. It supports face pose. Supports face mesh vertices. It actually supports almost everything except for the confidence for some reason. So this is what I really wanted to show you guys. If you guys have any other questions about anything that I just mentioned, let me know. And I'm also going to be checking this coding tonight. So be sure to check it out on github.com. And also be sure to check me out in patreon.com because it really helps me in making more videos and also providing you more source code for free. Thank you guys.